Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about an extremely practical topic: how to maintain and build muscle through diet and exercise after the age of 60. As one ages, muscle mass and strength may gradually decline, which can affect mobility, quality of life, and independence. But the good news is that a balanced diet and appropriate strength training can significantly slow down or even partially reverse this trend, allowing you to maintain greater physical strength and a more stable gait in your later years. Remember to subscribe, so you won't miss a very useful channel. We'll delve into more daily foods and drinks that can quietly improve your health from the inside out. Among various foods, there's a traditional and common type of bean that performs exceptionally well in supporting muscle synthesis due to its high protein content and good amino acid composition, and that is soybeans. In its dry weight state and in its processed products, the protein content per unit weight of soybeans usually exceeds that of many common ingredients, making it one of the representatives of plant-based proteins that is closest to the completeness of animal protein profiles. Soybeans contain key branch-chain amino acids such as leucine, which play a significant role in activating muscle synthesis signaling pathways. Especially when combined with resistance training, they can promote muscle repair and growth. Some people might say, "Aren't eggs high-quality protein? Why eat beans?" Indeed, eggs are an important source of high-quality protein, rich in amino acids and easily absorbed. However, from the perspective of the protein content provided per 100 grams of ingredients and the quantitative supplementation for the daily life of the elderly, soybeans and their products, such as tofu, dried tofu, soybean powder, and solid soy milk, etc., can provide a higher protein content more economically and conveniently. For people who don't want to consume animal-based foods frequently or are restricted by cost or taste reasons, soybeans are an excellent alternative or supplementary choice. In terms of consumption methods, soybeans are very diverse. For breakfast, you can have a cup of sugar-free soy milk, paired with whole grain bread or oats. For lunch and dinner, you can choose cold mixed tofu, mapo tofu, with controlled oil and salt, stewed soybeans, and stir-fried vegetables with soybean sprouts, etc. During snack time, you can have a small amount of roasted soybeans or dried tofu as a snack. For friends who have difficulty chewing or swallowing, tofu and soy milk are very friendly choices. They are easy to digest and can provide sufficient protein. However, it should be noted that soybeans contain phytoestrogenic compounds, isoflavones. Moderate intake can have potential cardiovascular and bone benefits for many people. But if you have specific hormone-sensitive diseases or are taking related medications, you should communicate with your attending doctor first before adjusting your intake. In addition, if you have chronic kidney disease, you should consult a doctor or a nutritionist before increasing your protein intake significantly in a short period of time to avoid imposing additional burdens on your kidney function. Protein intake is not necessarily the more the better. The key lies in a reasonable distribution. Research and nutritional advice show that allocating the daily protein intake to each meal and ensuring that each meal contains approximately 20 to 30 grams of high-quality protein is more conducive to stimulating muscle protein synthesis. For people over 60 years old, slightly raising the daily protein target and paying attention to the protein ratio of each meal is more effective than consuming a large amount of food in a concentrated manner throughout the day. For instance, having a cup of soy milk with a serving of eggs or a spoonful of soybean powder for breakfast, and having tofu or beans with vegetables and staple foods for lunch and dinner respectively, can stably provide amino acids. Food alone is not enough. Only by combining it with strength training can protein be converted into muscle. It is recommended to arrange resistance training at least 2 to 3 times a week, targeting the main muscle groups of the legs, back, chest, and arms. The training doesn't have to be complicated. Start with basic movements such as chair squats, seated leg stretches, seated rows, elastic bands can be used, and wall push-ups. Maintain stable breathing and correct posture. Do 8 to 15 repetitions per set, and gradually increase the number of sets or the load according to your physical condition. Consuming a serving of protein sources, such as soy milk, tofu, or protein powder, within half an hour to 2 hours after training can help with muscle recovery. In terms of lifestyle, sleep and rest are of great significance. Muscle growth and repair occur during sleep at night. Ensuring adequate deep sleep every night can significantly enhance the benefits of training. At the same time, maintaining an appropriate weight and controlling body fat are also beneficial for athletic performance and joint health. Do not overlook the role of nutrients such as vitamin D, calcium, and omega-3. They support bones, inflammation control, and overall function. If necessary, they can be supplemented through examination and as advised by a doctor. When choosing soy products, it is recommended to select those with simple ingredients and less processing. Pay attention to checking the ingredient list to avoid excessive salt, sugar, or unnecessary additives. For instance, when eating tofu, it is advisable to choose tofu that has been set in the traditional way and avoid high-salt pickled products. When choosing soy milk, give priority to sugar-free or low-sugar versions. When roasting soybeans as snacks, it is important to control the portion size and seasoning. In home cooking, steaming, blanching, stewing, or stir-frying can help retain nutrients to the greatest extent and reduce oil intake. If you have a history of allergy to soybeans or other legumes, you should avoid eating them and choose other alternatives rich in plant or animal protein, such as fish, chicken, dairy products, lentils, pea protein products, etc. For some vegetarians or those who prefer a plant-based diet, a combination of beans, nuts, whole grains, and vegetables can complement amino acids and achieve a more complete protein intake effect. A practical tip for operation: replace part of the staple food in 1 or 2 meals every day with beans or bean products. On training days, it is particularly important to have a high-protein snack after training. Try 2 to 3 different kinds of soy products every week to avoid taste fatigue. And record the changes in weight and daily activity capacity once a month to adjust the diet and training plan. For specific portion suggestions, you can refer to: take 1 serving of soy products, about 100 to 150 grams of tofu, or a 250 milliliter cup of soy milk, or 30 grams of dried soybeans per meal as one of the sources of protein. If the weight is low or the training volume is large, it can be appropriately increased to 150 to 200 grams per meal for equal replacement. Simple and easy-to-make home recipes include soy milk with oats and a handful of nuts for breakfast, lunch, tofu stir-fried with green vegetables and brown rice. After training, have a tofu salad with eggs or canned tuna, if animal protein is accepted. For dinner, stewed pumpkin with soybeans or braised tofu is not only delicious, but also provides protein and trace elements. Please follow the principle of gradual progress. Start by adding soy products or strength training once a week. Observe your body's response and sleep conditions, and then gradually adjust. If you experience any discomfort, such as indigestion or changes in bowel movements, adjust your intake promptly or seek medical advice. Remember, diet and exercise are partners that work together and neither can be dispensable. Start right now, beginning with a cup of soy milk or a chair squat today. If you persist for a long time, there will surely be rewards. To monitor the effect more scientifically, it is recommended to have a basic physical examination and tests for blood routine, kidney function, electrolytes, and vitamin D every 3 to 6 months. Under the guidance of a nutritionist, protein intake and exercise prescriptions can be adjusted. If conditions permit, conducting a simple physical assessment, such as grip strength or gait speed, will help you see concrete progress and enhance your motivation to persist. In summary, soybeans, as a traditional, readily available, and nutrient-intensive ingredient, are highly recommended as a source of protein for people over 60 who wish to maintain or increase their muscle mass. Its protein content and amino acid composition per unit mass make it a powerful supplement to animal proteins, such as eggs, in practical applications, especially suitable for those who prefer a plant-based protein diet or want to reduce their intake of animal fats. However, everyone's physical condition is different. Before starting any dietary or exercise adjustments, especially for those with chronic diseases or long-term medication, it is best to consult a doctor or a professional nutritionist first. Finally, changing one's lifestyle is never something that can be achieved overnight. Build your diet and exercise as long-term habits. Use high-protein and sustainable ingredients like soybeans as your daily support, and combine it with progressive strength training and good rest. You will find that your movements become easier, your spirit more energetic, and your later years more confident and independent. That's all for today's sharing. Don't forget to subscribe and like it so you won't miss the next video. We'll delve into more daily foods and drinks that can quietly improve your health from the inside out.